Greetings, everybody. I am the Starving Martian, and this is Collecting the Collective, where we take a look at everything Borg related and determine whether it should be assimilated into your collection or resisted, although we do all know how futile that can be. So today we are taking a look at 7 of 9 from Playmates 9-inch tall Star Trek doll series from back in the 90s. And, when Playmates had the license for Star Trek, they tackled every series that was available to them. They did the original series, Next Gen, Deep Space Nine, and of course Voyager. They did every size they could think of. There was the standard, 5-inch figures. There was these large 9-inch figures or dolls or whatever you would like to call them. They had these tiny little Micromaster figures. But as far as the the Borg go, there are few Borg more recognizable than good old 7 of 9. And so even though she's technically not a part of the collective at this stage in her life, I thought might as well take a look at this doll. This doll does not actually belong to me. This belongs to my daughter, who is a fan of the TV show Star Trek Voyager, but she was kind enough to let me borrow it for the filming of this episode here. So, anywho, yeah, 7 of 9. So what do we know about her? Well, assimilated at a young age as a child and brought up as a Borg drone, discovered by Captain Janeway, disconnected from the collective, and she had to regain her humanity, discover who she is, this and that. They were able to remove most, though not all, of her Borg implants, and so this is the character we have before us today. So let's take a look at some of the details. And sorry about that. My voice is a little bit off right now. I'm just getting over a bit of a nasty bout of bronchitis. So you'll excuse me if my normally suave voice goes up and down in unusual bits of scale. But the show must go on. So getting in on that face. Here we have a rather decent likeness to the actress, Jeri Ryan, I believe was her name. You can see the one facial implant remaining. Her hair is done up in a very efficient bun in the back of her head. You see her suit here is a cloth suit. It does have a Velcro tab. It is removable. We're not going to do that just yet, fellas. We will save that to the end of the video so that decent folk who do not want to see a naked 7 of 9 can be spared that. But it is completely removable. She's also got these Borg implants on her hand here, although they are just painted on. There's not any molded on detailing, but they do come up over each finger and cap off each fingertip. And then she does have these silver high heels. Because nothing's better for running away from alien invaders than high heel shoes. This bit here on the on the cat suits, these black bars are just kind of painted on, I guess, some kind of cloth paint. They're not stitched on or any detailing like that, but they do still have the same general effect that the outfit on the show had. For comparison, and it's the only other one I have, but this is her next to Data from the same doll line. I have Data dressed as Sherlock Holmes. I got my own video on him, so you could probably find that if you click on my name and scroll through my videos, but there's Data. He's actually a hair shorter than her, but that just might be because he doesn't have heels. As far as other comparisons go, here she is next to 7 of 9 action figure that we've shown off before. This is her from the episode The Gift, when she was making the transition from Borg drone to human cast member. And you can see there is obviously a notable size difference. And you could just see how far along the character came from being roughly 70% Borg to being roughly, what, 6% Borg? As far as accessories go, well, she does come with her Borg base, which I highly recommend using because she doesn't stand terribly well. I mean, I've definitely seen figures that stand worse than she does, but anytime you get one of these female figures with the high heel shoes, especially ones with a tendency to be top heavy, you're going to have a hard time getting them to stand, and if I bump the table at all, she's falling on her face, and we don't want that. So I've already got her pegged on. She also comes with this nifty Borg regeneration unit. Her other figure that I showed off also came with one, cast in black and of course smaller to match her scale, but it's essentially the same thing. And just like the smaller action figure, this thing is practically useless because you can't set it up like a Borg alcove. It's supposed to go behind her like this and she regenerates, but there's nothing for it to stand. It doesn't hang on anything. It doesn't clip on anything. There's no magnet to attach it to anything. So unless you like lay it down and then have her like rest on it like this, it's just it's kind of a worthless accessory. You know, I mean, if you want to make sure that your 7 of 9 is complete and mint, you'll want to have it, but there's nothing you can really do with it. However, I do appreciate the fact that it is at least well detailed and painted as opposed to the smaller version here. You can see they painted in some of these with copper highlights. The sticker detailing is exactly the same. It's just a blown up version of that. So that's what you got going on. As far as articulation goes, how can our Borg beauty move? Well, her head can rotate side to side. Oh, I don't know if I showed off before, but shows that one little starburst kind of implant going on that side. They did mold that into. Her arms can swivel fully around. She's got a bend at each elbow, which is nice. And she has some flex up there. And when you push her sleeve back, you can see how far this implant portion extends. Her legs as well, she can swivel up. And she's got that bend at the knee. So she's very poseable. You can kind of get her doing this karate stance here, kind of a... There we go. But again, if you're going to pull off any of these poses, I highly recommend keeping her Borg base around. And you know what? I feel kind of bad for her that she comes with a Borg base because her whole story arc is moving away from her Borg origins. I think it would have been kinder to the character to just give her a standard Starfleet base, but oh well, what are you going to do? The cool thing about the Borg base, though, is it's a pretty good size. And this would actually make a nice wall plaque if you want to hang this up on your wall next to a door frame, like your own personal Borg alcove. This is the size you want to use. So there you go, a funny little bear claw thing. I actually have my own theory on the origin of the Borg symbol, but that is a story for another day. So let's get her pegged back in. And there we go. I think we've covered all we can reasonably cover here. So what we're going to do now is I'll show you what she looks like when you start to remove her jumpsuit. And so this is the part of the program where all the good little boys and girls find something else to watch. So if you don't want to see a naked 7 of 9 doll, do click off now. And for the rest of you, get a little bit of, there we go, some sci-fi showgirl action going on. A little chicka-wah-wah, chicka-wah-wah. Alrighty. So, all the prudes out of the room. Okie doke, let's get on with this. Let's have us a look. That's right, baby. Here we go. You ready, guys? And voila! Ah, that's right, she's got another jumpsuit painted on underneath that. So if you were hoping for any odd doll action, you've wasted the last minute of your life. You're never getting that time back. Serves you right, you pervs. Really, what would your mother say? So, let's get you dressed back up. Alright, and that's about it. So, if you'd like one of these for your own, I bought this, like I said, around Christmas time for my daughter. I found it on eBay. Cost about, I think, 15-ish. So they're still a pretty good price. They're still rather affordable. So there's no reason not to go ahead and get one. But if you're just collecting for your Borg collection, you know, after she sheds her Borg exterior, I really don't consider Seven to be a Borg character. So I have no personal use for this doll on my shelf in my collection. I don't think she's a necessary part of a Borg collection. But if you are collecting the dolls, or if you're collecting Voyager figures or 7 of 9, I think she is a definite must-have. She also comes with a maroon jumpsuit, although that one is rarer and thus more expensive. You're looking at least $35 for that. So this has been the Starving Martian. Hope you guys enjoyed this look at 7 of 9. And we'll catch up with you next time. But until then, as always, keep watching the skies. Later.